Hello, welcome. My name is Anne Vivian. Welcome to Mystical Adventures. I'm so excited you've joined me, and we're going to have a mystical adventure today with the squirrel totem, Squirrel Spirit Animal. I can't wait to go on that journey with you. I just want to remind you that, quick announcement, August 10th, I'm going to be having my fabulous, wonderful guest who's a friend and a colleague, Rosalind Nader Carrier-Brault, who's a universal white time practitioner, and she's also an intuitive pet care practitioner with her own business. And she's going to come talk with us about intuitive pet care and happenings and connection. I can't wait to have that guest come on and share her pet magic with us. So that will be August 10th. So don't miss that. I'm so glad that you tuned in. I am going to share a tarot card that I picked for this month. I decided this month I was going to pull a tarot card in addition to the Spirit Helper of the Week message, which, like I mentioned, is squirrel, or I should say whom is squirrel. Which whom, whatever, you know what I mean. So the Seven of Pentacles is the card I pulled for this week right before the camera started rolling. Seven of Pentacles is describing the energy for this week ahead of, what is today, July 27th, 2021. And Seven of Pentacles is about making a certain amount of progress and then taking a moment to assess where you are. Taking a moment to assess what progress you've made, what's going well, what's not going well, and what changes you would like to make, what decisions you would like to make moving forward. So it's kind of a crossroads card. And this week, for some of us, we might be feeling appreciative for the success we've made. We might be thinking about decisions for what we want to choose, what we want to keep, what we want to change moving forward. And this works beautifully. Oh, I'm sorry. Dave was doing a close-up and I moved the card too quickly. Thank you, Dave. So that works beautifully with what Squirrel Spirit Animal would like to share with us today, because it is about that beautiful marriage between action and inspiration. And the figure in this card is appearing to be reflective about his abundance, but also his decisions. And Squirrel has something to teach us about connecting with our inner wisdom and using that as a way to make decisions and create abundance moving forward. So let's talk a little bit about the squirrel animal spirit. So the squirrel is the spirit helper of the week. Every week I open myself to the divine universe, divine source, my guides, and ask what heart-centered creature, entity, angel, star being, animal spirit would like to bestow me and my audience with a message for guidance for the week ahead. And this week, I strongly felt the squirrel just scurry on up into today's program. So welcome, squirrel. Squirrels are associated with the tree of life, the Yggdrasil in the Norse mythology. So they are associated in mythology with trees, and you often see them climbing on trees. And in this way, they can access both the upper and lower realms of consciousness, the upper realms being the branches, and the lower and middle realms, the trunk and the roots. They can access all of this, and we're going to hear about this when I share the message today. They're also associated with being playful, but also being very organized. I saw this really cool nature program that talked about how some scientists were studying squirrels and found that they actually have a very organized way of remembering where they buried their nuts. They will group like nuts together and put them near certain signposts. And so they might bury the walnuts next to the bench. They might bury all of the hazelnuts next to a particular bush, and it helps them to remember where they bury things, and then they bury the same nut together. It's so fascinating. They're very, very smart. They're also associated with abundance, prosperity, work, also play and playfulness, and also the balance with all of these. Preparedness, preparing for winter with their nuts. So I'm going to read to you a message I channeled from Squirrel for the week ahead, the week of July 27th, 2021. Retreat, play, getting work done. There's a time for play, rest, and work. There are parts of the tree we can access that lead us to great joy, heights, and expansiveness. As we jump and leap from the branches, we frolic in the realm of spirit, imagination, and moving the energy in a cosmic direction. We see the stars, we see the sun and the planets. We hear the birds, and we feel inspired in these branches. We can play up here and connect with the energy of the sun, of the cosmos. We can bring this energy down to the roots of the tree if we want. We are creatures who play, but who also know how to get work done. We want to teach you to remember the stars and your expansive imagination as you work. As you move down the tree to the ground, you can bring with you the knowledge of the higher realms and plant your seeds. We bury our nuts. You too can be a doer and an actor in this world and carry out your wisdom from the top to the bottom, from the bottom to the top of this universe. You can take these expanded ideas and bring them to the world of action. We take time to play with each other and consider the hilarity of it all. We take time to find relaxation and rest, to hide away and rejuvenate. There is a force active in the universe, and it comes out to play when you are still. If you can bring the holiness of the stillness to your action and to the work, you will find there is much more inspiration in your day. We are ones who appreciate greatly the ancient trees. We play in them. We also understand their wisdom, and they teach us. They teach us to use both the stars, the sun, and the ground in our routine. The trees teach us how to ground ourselves, but also how to reach more expansive states, such as clarity, joy, and the open expansiveness of the sky. Revel in the oneness that we all are, and remember to infuse your day, your life, your rhythm in this life with the joy of the upper realms and the groundedness of the earth. Thank you, sacred squirrel spirit animal. I love this message, and it inspires me just to think about integrative visions, grounded visions, inspired action, taking your beautiful spiritual imagination and inspirations and actually applying them. And that's what the squirrel is really speaking to me about today in this message, at least. It's so important to take time to rest and be still to access this higher consciousness. As the figure in the Seven of Pentacles is resting, as the squirrel goes to its nest to rest and takes time to have relaxation and play, it's really important for us to do the same. And in our rest, in our relaxation, in our times of play where things aren't so serious and all work and no play, we have the ability to access this divine inspiration. Our dreams are a great example of this. Every night we enter a still, sacred, altered state of consciousness of sleep, and our dreams are the beautiful gifts of this higher consciousness coming through the doorway of that stillness. And it's our own higher consciousness. It's the guidance and inspiration of divine source, of your spirit guides, of other divine creatures and beings. Taking time to meditate can also provide the stillness, or even practicing mindfulness and being in the present moment. You're so much more open to the still small voice if you can get quiet. And the squirrel teaches us to balance that work and play, to bring that playfulness and that cosmic consciousness into our practical work. They play while they work. They have fun while they do what needs to be done. And they integrate this joyous play, which is really very divine, and integrate that into their daily routine, into their way of getting food and doing all the things little squirrels need to do to survive. Sometimes we can be too practical, and we can be too results oriented, to focus on conforming our choices to suit the needs of others or to meet some sort of security or safety need. And this is it's a drudgery, isn't it? Have you ever gotten in a zone like this where you're going through the motions? Maybe you have some stability, but you're stuck. Your spirit isn't thriving, and you're feeling that lack of inspiration. On the other hand, sometimes we can be we can get our head in the clouds and be a little floating head in the stratosphere and not be grounded or connected to the here and now, this earth plane. And we might be inspired. We might be connected with spirit. We might be experiencing magical revelations and ideas and experiences, but not very much is happening in our earthly life sometimes when we get in this imbalanced state where we're too much in the branches and ignoring the roots, and we're not able to actually make any changes or create the security, the stability we need in this life. The squirrel teaches us to integrate these realms and to take the inspiration that we get from those higher realms in the branches, communing with the stars and the sun, taking the inspirations we get from meditations and dreams and allowing our imagination to run wild, and then taking it down to the lower parts of the tree to take inspired action, to take baby steps towards bringing our dreams into reality. I have a couple of ideas. Thank you for bearing with me. Technical difficulties. If you're listening to this and not watching, hopefully you missed that. So I want to give you a couple of ideas for how to put this into practice, my beautiful soul traveler friend. One idea is to make a collage of the things that inspire you and gather images from anywhere you'd like, from magazines, make photocopies from pictures, print out things from the internet, and you can even draw on it. Just let your imagination run wild and see what you can find. It might be that you didn't realize something inspired you, but then you find a picture of it in a magazine, or you already have an idea of what you want to go in your collage, and paste them all together. On the back, write out a couple of baby steps, 3 baby steps you can take this month that are practical for you, that can bring some of this inspiration into your life. Another suggestion I have for using the wisdom of the squirrel and creating your dreams into this reality, bringing the branches down to the trunk and the roots, is to let yourself fantasize about what you really want right now in this life. Just let your imagination run wild. And make a list of things you already have going in your favor. Make a list of resources you already have towards manifesting your desires. And then choose 2 more things you can add to that list, 2 more baby steps you can take towards bringing that goal into reality. And I am a big supporter and proponent and believer in baby steps. So that's part of the practicality of the tree, isn't it? That we can choose actions that are both inspired, both have those branches, and have the practicality of the roots. It's grounded. I do believe we have caller today, and I am getting the message that we have Rhonda as our caller from Trotwood, Ohio. Hello, Rhonda. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Rhonda. Welcome to my show. This is Ann Vivian speaking. We're talking about inspired action today. Do you feel like you're connected with your imagination and ready to take some steps towards action? Rhonda, I'm having a little trouble hearing you. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Able to. Hello, Rhonda?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. I don't know what the problem was, but let's just assume it's fixed. Rhonda, we're talking about inspired action today, and I was just asking you, do you feel like you've been inspired to any action lately?
Yes.
Great. How so?
Well, I have a whole new life beginning. I'm in a new relationship, and things are moving forward pretty good. And that was why I was wanting to talk to you to see what you see for the future.
Oh, that's fantastic, Rhonda. So you'd like to know about this new chapter with this new relationship.
Yes.
All right. It'll just be a couple of seconds of silence as I just tune into your energy psychically, okay?
Okay.
Well, Rhonda, as I just tune into your energy psychically, I get this feeling that you are a very strong leader, that many people are drawn to you. And I just sort of see like this crowd around you, that you have a certain charisma, and that's one of your gifts. And you're able to inspire people with your presence and your words. And people really admire the actions that you're taking in your life. And I see that you're really feeling so just this jubilation from this new relationship, that you like a certain amount of excitement, and you don't like it when it's boring. I mean, who does? But
Right.
I'm feeling that, right, with it's kind of got this, he's able to kind of keep this spark going, and not just romantically, but like, there's a just sort of lust for life energy I get from this, how this relationship is affecting you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and what's with you and the people around you? I see people wanting to crowd around you and look up to you for advice and wisdom.
Well, I have two older or grown daughters who's about to move back in with me, and one
Oh,
of them pregnant and due in a couple months. So maybe that's what it is.
okay. I'm getting the sense that they look up to you quite a bit.
Oh
And
yeah, they do.
that's a
They're
beautiful thing.
wonderful kids.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful, Rhonda. All right, so I pulled a few cards here to tune into this new chapter. And I feel in general, you've been waiting for this for a long time. It's like been a long time coming. And you're so excited that you finally found someone who you're able to vibe with, and who maybe vibes with your family too. And you're able to just be yourself with this person. And it feels like you're someone in this relationship who is able to really inspire and motivate your partner. And you feel like a very action oriented person in your energy to me, Rhonda. So I see that, I think the challenge is going to be, you're going to want to spend more time with this partner than you're going to actually be able to. And hey, sometimes absence makes the heart grow stronger, right? But does that make sense that you're going to be wanting to see more of them than maybe is practical? So that might be something you'd have to work through.
Yeah, he works a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Is it local or is it long distance that he is working?
No, it's local.
It's local. It's just his schedule
Yeah.
is such that you might not get to spend as much time on a day-to-day basis with him.
Right.
Well, I feel like there's a connection somewhere between him and children, like he's connecting with your children, or there's some sort of really nice connection. It's like he wants to connect with the children, and it's not just you. You know, this person is really willing and interested in creating that family connection. Does that make sense?
He is. My daughter just said last week he's very family oriented. So they get along great, and I get along with his daughter too. So
okay,
so far, I mean, everything's just wonderful.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. Well, and I feel like, you know, even though he is going to be away at work quite a bit, and you're going to want to spend more time with him than he's able to, he really does want to spend the time with you. He's just not able to, but he's really wanting to put quite a bit of energy and effort into this relationship. So I feel like the guidance for you, Rhonda, is patience. That you're ready to maybe you know, go at a pretty good pace here. And there are, you know, beautiful things about him and this relationship. And I feel like the guidance is you're moving in a great direction. You have beautiful blessings being handed to you, and you're able to, I think, experience more of what this relationship has to offer as you can slow down and as you can maybe pace yourself a little with moving forward in this relationship, and just the general like energy pace as you're moving forward here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I feel like this is a really cool relationship because you're able to learn a lot from each other, and he doesn't take things lightly. I feel like the energy coming from your partner is, you know, he's ready to take on some serious matters and you know, be deep with you, and that is such a blessing that you're appreciating. And I feel like that's something that you're really going to be able to learn from each other, that he's going to teach you things, you're going to teach him things. And I feel like, you know, there's lots of potential and beautiful connections here. And I feel like, you know, the kind of connection you have, Rhonda, is taking time to really appreciate each other in an authentic way. And it's really a soul growth relationship where it's, you know, there is that romance, but there's also this beautiful aspect of just friendship and being there for each other emotionally, and you know, being there for each other. You both have some challenges in your past. Who doesn't? And I feel like this is the kind of partnership where you know, you'll really be there for each other and be able to be supportive in those ways. And I feel like you bring a lot of energy to the relationship, Rhonda. I just get a feeling you're an energetic, charismatic, action-oriented person. Yes?
Yeah, and I try to stay positive.
Yeah, and I can see that you really
positivity.
That you really inspire him. Yeah. And I think you really inspire your daughters as well. And I think, you know, you could apply that in a professional way. I see you as someone who, you know, you're able to really work with a crowd, Rhonda. Have you ever heard that or felt that?
Yeah, I'm good with public relations, like in customer service.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's a strength that you bring to this relationship. And I think that he brings a certain amount of stability, and he's not a judgmental person. He's very understanding. But I feel like, you know, the guidance is take it slow, feel your own energy, and tune into your own center and your own mind and spirit, as well as staying connected with him. So I'm so excited for you with this new chapter. I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, you just kind of tell me everything I pretty much felt, but I just needed that reassurance.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm so excited for you, Rhonda. You have a beautiful energy. Well, have a beautiful week, and thanks so much for calling.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Take care. And I want to thank you, my beautiful soul traveler, for tuning in to Mystical Adventures with me and Vivian today. Thank you so much for going on this mystical journey with me. And don't forget to take your inspired action. Tune into your branches. Tune into the energy of the cosmos and your soul. And then bring that inspired imagination down to the earth, down to your life, down to this moment. Take that baby step towards what your heart really wants. Thank you again for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next show. Take care.